Hello, welcome to In the Den with Dr. Jenn, an open-minded and fun place for women to explore sexuality in a comprehensive manner and start thinking about female sexuality outside the box. A viewer wrote to me recently asking if I would do a show on male sexuality from a female perspective. This piqued my interest, and his reason for wanting me to do this, his girlfriend had caught him masturbating and was very upset, even though he told her it had nothing to do with her. Now, this certainly isn't the first time that I've heard about a woman being upset about finding her partner masturbating. And I think this was a great suggestion of a general theme to discuss in the den. And who better to shed some light on gender differences than our own house clinical sex researcher, Jane.
Thank you for your kind words.
My pleasure, Jane. It's always great to have your perspective. So, what do you think about this situation of catching someone while masturbating?
Well, I totally understand why a woman could feel disappointed, upset, and inadequate by this, and potentially just confused and not understanding why their partner would be doing something that they may understand as dirty or wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, so you mentioned a couple reasons in there. Can you spell out them some more for us?
Well, depending on the age of the woman, in particular, if she's younger, she may be less familiar with masturbation and maybe hasn't done much to explore her own body and come to the understanding that this is a very natural thing to do. So she may be just reacting from our societal discomfort with masturbation. As well, she may be interpreting as masturbation as an indication that she's not sexually satisfying him or that he would rather be alone than sexually with her. What a lot of this requires is open, honest communication, just like everything else, without any blaming or being overly sensitive, which is easier said than done because our sexual reactions and values can be so unquestioned and deep-seated and knee-jerk. Ideally, they would be able to discuss their masturbation openly and understand that there are times when it's more about a physical release than a connection with our partner.
Okay, so you're saying she may be reading too much into this situation from her own discomfort and insecurities?
Yes, potentially. Although I would have to know the specifics for this couple because there could be something completely different going on depending on the context of their relationship and patterns. She may also be uncomfortable with the thought that he's fantasizing about other women or imagining sexual acts that they haven't actually engaged in. This can bring up all sorts of insecurities in women, and understandably so. But knowing that a man can be extremely satisfied in his relationship while still maintaining an active fantasy world and masturbation is completely normal and not reflective of anything wrong with him or their relationship.
Wow, great. This is really helpful to hear. Do you think there are any other major areas where women may take things personally and get upset with men around sexuality when it's really just a different perspective and experience of being sexual that's going on?
Well, men tend to be more visual when it comes to arousal, and this can include just noticing beautiful women around them. I think men inadvertently will notice and glance at a beautiful woman or a pair of breasts they see standing out in the crowd. This can be hard for a girlfriend or partner to not feel insecure about their own looks or the security of their relationship. You know, as long as the man's not gawking but just noticing, I think it can be helpful for women to know that it's not at all indicative of the man's feelings about her.
Wow, these are really relevant examples that I'm sure a lot of women have experienced, and you know, they can definitely make us feel very small and uncomfortable. Maybe genuine reassurance from men and awareness of why women can get upset about this can aid in the communication. So, anything else?
Well, I don't think a lot of women understand just how important a man's sense of his penis is in terms of size and girth, appearance, and ability to please. This really is important to a lot of men, and having a sensitivity and reassurance related to the penis is invaluable.
Okay, I'm sure we would have a whole hour den chat topic there. Well, you are a wealth of knowledge here, Jane. Thanks so much for joining us. Oh, how are you enjoying the vag flask Susie gave you for Christmas?
I'm actually using it right now.
Sexual fun fact number 444. What percentage of men feel guilty masturbating as often as they do? According to one study, 41% do. Wow. I wonder how much they're masturbating. Okay, I'm just kidding. But I am surprised the number's as high as it is. The Den recommend. Something that kind of came to light during the Den chat with Jane was that sometimes men and women look at the same thing very differently in a relationship, and both are quite sure that their reality is correct. A book that addresses this topic that came recommended to me is the 5 Love Languages book by Gary Chapman, who's a marriage counselor. His premise is that we all have specific ways that we express our love for someone else, but our loving gestures or words may not be what that person wants or needs to feel loved and cared for. This miscommunication in love styles can cause a lot of problems when it's really just a different way of communicating. The 5 love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. And he has a whole series targeting specific people, men, children, single individuals, following this theme of the languages of love. You know, in between socialization and our own unique personalities, we certainly all have our own understanding of love and how to express that. I think this is a really fascinating and helpful way to better understand your self-expression and that of those you interact with. New Den section. Where do I put that? Since we're talking some today about male sexuality, okay, I'm not a guy and I don't have a prostate, but if I was and I did, I would definitely want to stick this up my ass. The aneros. This thing just literally fascinates me. It's the male G-spot stimulator that's been medically researched and designed, and to quote the creators of it, its proven, efficacious, hands-free, self-pivoting mechanism simultaneously massages the male G-spot and perineum, culminating in an intensely heightened experience of orgasm. Many men state that orgasms through prostate stimulation are by far the best orgasms of their lives. And you see the prostate's about 3 inches in, and this is specifically designed to be inserted. You want to relax first, use a lot of lube. And then just by contracting your PC sphincter muscles, it gently strokes the prostate and externally the perineum. That's it. Hands-free. Look, Ma, no hands. Visit me at DrJennsDen.com or ZipZapToys.com or email me at Jennifer@DrJennsDen.com. And if you're a woman out there who's interested in greater passion, relationship satisfaction, and self-love in your life, drop me an email so we can set up a free trial session to see how I can serve as your female sexual empowerment coach. So ask yourself where you may be able to communicate more effectively, and be kind to yourself. It's the male G-spot stimulator that has been medically researched and designed, and to quote the creators of it, I forgot, I don't know, how do you pronounce that word?
Ow. Oh my. Sorry.
Oh, that's perfect.